It says now recording video. I've never seen that before.
That's weird.
That is weird.
I did the. Let's see. Let me. That's weird. I don't know, man.
It's crazy.
I wish. Yeah. I mean, you're not missing out. We're pretty fucking ugly. So.
That is weird. I can see it now. Yeah, I see it over there on the side.
Yeah, I don't.
You think it can't be the connection because it's got to be something in your settings.
I have a good I got maybe it's the software we're using or something. I don't know. I mean, we can see you fine. I don't know if you still want to do the interview or not without seeing us, but
hey, if it works for you.
Yeah. Well, I'll introduce ourselves. We're the Brohio podcast. And the Brohio podcast. So we're
the Brohio.
Two bros from Ohio, if that makes sense.
Oh, you bro from Ohio, okay. I'm bro from prison.
No, man, you're in county lockup right now. You're not in prison.
Yeah, buddy.
Hey, at some point, I've got to just take like 30 seconds and go take my medicine.
You're good, man. Anytime.
So what's up, man? You're actually in Ohio?
Yeah,
yes, sir.
We're in Vandalia, which is just a little north of Cincinnati. We're in Dayton, essentially.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, but I do want to say thank you for taking the time to talk to us, Joe.
Hey, I appreciate you giving me a voice and a platform.
Hell yeah.
Absolutely.
And again, my name's Nick. I'm here with my partner Rob.
Yes, sir.
And we are.
Y'all both naked. That's why you got this blacked out.
We're fucking hooked up like dogs right now out in the yard.
I'm missing out on this three-way. This is no fun.
Yeah, in Dayton though, a three-way is something different. That's spaghetti, chili, and cheese. That's
in my world, it's meth, tigers, and another dude.
Hey, I'm not against either version either.
Hell yeah. Well, Joe, we got some questions here, man, for you. So hopefully, again, we're two kind of free-spirited, goofy fuckers, and you don't have to hold back on our show. So you feel free to let her rip, man. And we
hey, ask anything.
Yeah, we're
let me know when he's ready. Okay, ask me anything.
Yeah, so I guess you got locked up before the Tiger King shit before all that stuff kind of came out. And
a lot of people are misunderstanding. Okay, I got locked up in September of 2018.
Yeah,
and I didn't film for Tiger King. All right.
Right.
They concocted this agenda and got me locked up, and then Netflix took advantage of the situation and they exploited it by paying the government witnesses to make this movie. Okay.
Yeah.
And if you look at the videos that are on joeexotictv.net and joeexoticofficial.com. We have evidence videos now, recordings of the producers of Netflix paying them during my trial.
I did check out the website today. There's a plethora of, like you said, evidence kind of showing the fact that you're wrongfully convicted and you're in the wrong place for the wrong fucking shit, man. So I would encourage everybody to check out that website. And it's also
crazy, isn't it? Why I'm here with the evidence we have.
Yeah, it's kind of it's not laughable, but it's just kind of like throw your hands up. And this specific episode of the podcast, we're talking about wrongful convictions, and it was a perfect opportunity to touch base with you and kind of go through your situation. And just, the statistics show that about 5% of the incarcerated U.S. population are in prison wrongfully convicted. And I think
and it's because America, the feds are so proud of that 98% conviction rate. Okay.
Yeah.
But really, in just the federal system, there's approximately 165,000 people in federal prison today. All right,
Wow.
and I would say 30,000 of them are in here wrong, because and you'd have to be in here to understand it.
Yeah.
Okay, the feds are arresting people and convicting people on the RICO Act, which is conspiracy, and they convict you on hearsay. So there's people in here that are serving long sentences for drug crimes that never even got caught with drugs, dude.
Wow.
And if you were in a state case, that wouldn't happen. You couldn't convict on hearsay. But the reason why is because the Bushes are making money on the Syncor, the Unicor of us working for $5.25 a month.
That makes
They're
sense.
They're making money on all of the Keefe products that are sold on the commissary. Now they're the ones who come up with the tablets for federal prisons. They're selling for $130 a piece. And then Bob Barker's making money on everything else: the toothpaste, toothbrush, the uniforms, and the shoes, and all of that shit. So it's a profitable business for certain politicians, especially Republicans.
It's fucked up all the way around, man.
Yeah, it's just corrupt. But Trump's getting a taste of it. So if he wins, let's hope that he'll fix it this time, because he got soft on us last time.
Man, I was fucking waiting on bated breath on the last day when he was leaving office. I'm like, just free my guy Joe Exotic. I didn't care what the fuck else he did. I said, just free my guy Joe. And it never came down. And you know what? I didn't care anything about what Donald Trump had done before. I said, fuck that guy. He didn't free Joe Exotic. I don't care what the fuck he does.
It's amazing how many people feel that way. And like I've told him on I don't know how many interviews, I'm sure he's heard me say it. If he would have pardoned me 6 months before the election, he would not have needed to call Georgia for those votes.
He would have gotten so many people to vote for him that just come out of the woodwork that would have had no interest.
And as bad as everybody hates Biden right now, Biden would probably get a whole lot more votes if he'd wake the hell up and let me out before the election.
I'd change his fucking diaper if he let you out of prison, Joe.
Isn't that crazy? and that's the way the rest of America feels too. But how do you get a message like that to the White House? Somebody needs to poke him in the ribcage and say, "Hey, look, dude, you want to win this election? Hands up. You need to make this man's case right."
Free Joe. And that was like, that kind of goes into the next thing I wanted to tell you is, man.
Yeah, hashtag free Joe Exotic, man. That's
hashtag free Joe Exotic. But you're a fucking cultural icon, and this all sailed under you. And I'm interested to know, at what point when you were locked up did you start to find like, hey, this is blowing up out there? When did that start to?
I got arrested in September the 7th of 2018, and Netflix came out in March the 19th of 2020, and I was still in solitary confinement. They held me without bond. They held me in solitary, so I couldn't help fight my case. I couldn't hire lawyers or anything. That's how they beat me. Okay, and then my first day in prison on March the 25th of 2020, after Tiger King came out, for the next 11 months, the feds kept me in solitary confinement. So I've been in solitary confinement almost 3 years.
Holy shit, man.
Yeah. And I didn't see anything. All of the shit show with the big bus that said Trump pardoned Joe Exotic and the limos and the airplanes, I had nothing to do with that.
Wow.
That was strictly a team of people out there doing nothing but trying to make a name for themselves and get in Tiger King 2. Joe had absolutely nothing to do with that. All right. So my first knowledge of even what happened was when I got out of solitary confinement at the feds in December of 2020. Fuck, they brought me my mail in Walmart bags. It was crazy insane. Okay, so I probably had over 75,000 people write me, and I've answered every one of them.
Yeah.
but I never really saw the outside part of the world until I went to Butner, North Carolina to get treated for cancer. And then when I got done and came back, on the drive, they brought me from the airport in Oklahoma City down to the prison in Fort Worth in an unmarked police car. And I was sitting in the back, and they didn't have my hands, handcuffed like they normally do. And I was just sitting in the back of this unmarked police car going to Fort Worth from Oklahoma City. And one out of every 3 cars, no lie, would pass us and then slow down and take a picture.
Really?
And it was like this many people, and it didn't matter if they were 19 or 80, recognized who I was. And that was my first real impression of how many people around this world know who I am.
Joe, we were locked up inside. We were bonding together as a family. You brought people together at one of the darkest, most isolated times in human history, and the fact that you were fucking locked up through all that shit,
and
that brings me to tears, man.
It was one of those things. It was really weird. I mean, I think it was this thing hit so hard, and I mean, even if you were painted this way or that way, like the cultural impact that it had on everybody during this crazy time is so vast. And so, like, anytime you can be a fucking Halloween costume for a year, I mean, that's fucking crazy.
Dude, they're still dressing up for me this last year.
I know.
That's 4 years later. And that's 4 years later. But, every interview that I do, too, I remind everybody to please just remember, I appreciate you saying that I got you through COVID and all of that. But remember, this is my real life. Okay?
Absolutely.
This is really happening to me. And I'm not just a TV fictional character. My parents died during this. I lost everything. And I just need you, every time Biden puts a post on the internet, anywhere, put Free Joe Exotic in the comments. Yeah. Because the more people he sees that are upset about this, the more we're going to get the White House's attention.
And I
just wish I had a husband like Brittany Griner had a wife to get on TV and call out the White House. I would be home in a month if I had a husband that would get on TV and say, "Oh, bring my husband home."
I volunteer as tribute, Joe. I've got a wife and 3 beautiful daughters, but I will play gay for. I'll do it, man. I got this for you.
We have a very dedicated army of people, and I feel like we could definitely get this done.
Dude, I mean, seriously, look, Brittany Griner, if people want to bitch about Russia, especially the White House, they need to pull their head out of their ass, okay? Anytime you have ever seen Brittany Griner, Paul Whelan, or Trevor Reed on TV in Russia, they were always in their street clothes. Yeah. And they were never shackled at the ankles. They were never belly chained. They were treated with respect in the courtroom. In America, we're chained up like monkeys in an orange suit to make it look guilty from the minute we walk in the courtroom.
It's true, man.
It is.
Okay, and that lady flew over there. She got arrested. She got charged. She got sent. Went through a trial. She got sentenced. She appealed it. Everything in 10 months, and I'm going on 7 fucking years to get a new trial.
Yeah, it's fucked up.
It's crazy.
There's no. Oh man, I wish I knew more about the justice system, but I do encourage everyone. # Free Joe Exotic to get our guy out of there. And I'm right in assuming you've never actually seen Tiger King, correct?
I have not.
Well, and one of the
and I don't think I really want to, because I was reading the law library today, and there's one of the ex-employees that sued Netflix. Thank God he didn't win. The appellate court at the 10th district in Denver denied his case. Fucking sued Netflix over my husband's funeral.
Wow.
Okay, saying that he owned and copyrighted the video that we made of Travis's funeral. I'm like, that's
fucking stupid.
How low can you be to try and collect on somebody's funeral video?
Yeah.
That's just crazy.
That's wild.
One of the things that stood out for me from in Tiger King, and hopefully you can remember this. There was a scene where one of the female zoo workers, she gets her arm ripped off by a tiger, and whenever
absolutely,
and whenever that initially happened, you did not have a paramedic jacket on, but then within
the real footage is on my YouTube channel, or it's on joeexoticusa.com on that evidence page. The original video I released after everybody said, "Well, how did you put a jacket on so fast?" Joe didn't have a jacket on that entire time. Okay, and let me tell you, if I wouldn't have been there, she would have died.
I bet.
Absolutely.
Oh, hey.
I saw you putting on the tourniquet and taking care of her, man. You saved her fucking life.
Hey, did you see the original video?
No, I'll check it out. Knowing now that it exists, I'll check it out.
Okay. Whoever you talk to on my social media to set this up tonight, reach out to him, and I'm gonna call as soon as we hang up, and I'm gonna say, be sure that Nicholas gets the original footage of Saf losing her arm, because I have every bit of it.
Good.
And it is no way that the way Netflix portrayed it, none whatsoever. It was devastating.
I can imagine, like, there would have been no time for you to say, "Hey, I gotta grab a fucking jacket real quick."
Oh fuck no, dude! I ripped my gun off. I carry my gun everywhere. I ripped my holster off. I took my belt off. I used it as a tourniquet. And dude, I had the best emergency protocols you could ask for at a zoo. And if it wouldn't have been for me and the training and having stretchers and ready, a helipad and everything, that woman would have died.
Yeah, and I saw you from Netflix, you can tell you knew what you were doing. You're medically trained, and your decisiveness.
I was a paramedic for 30 years.
Well, that would fucking
there you go. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, first response training right there.
Are you looking back to going to Are you looking forward to going back to the state facility? Or you? It seems like you've been a little more accessible here at the county lockup, but
the feds keep me shut up. I haven't used a phone in 2 years. They don't have video visits. I've never had a face-to-face visit.
Yeah.
Am I enjoying my time here? Absolutely. But I don't get to go outside here. You sleep and live under these bright-ass fluorescent lights 24 hours a day. I get to eat hamburgers and pizza from the real world here. So there's pros and cons both ways, But, I'm hoping that I stay here another week after my court date Tuesday.
Okay.
Because we're going to kick this guy's ass because he's in the wrong. He stole my music. He got paid for it. While I was in solitary confinement, everybody raped me out there.
Oh, dude, that's what we were talking about this beforehand. You would be you'd be as big as fucking Taylor Swift right now if you were given the opportunity to capitalize on what Netflix did to you. You would be a king. You would be a sultan.
Oh, hey, and I've been offered a world tour if I get out of here, which I hope I do, and I'm going to take it. My goal is to get out of here, go to 7-Eleven, get a pack of Marble Lights, go to Fort Smith, Arkansas, lock myself in the house with Seth for 2 days and have sex, and then I'm going to get on tour, okay?
Hey, man, you better get some fucking Gatorade, stay hydrated.
That's the manliest shit I've ever heard before.
and I'm going to get a tour going, and then I'm going to testify in front of Congress about justice and prison reform. Because I'm not going to walk out of here and forget everybody like Kodak Black did and Lil Wayne.
Yeah. No, man, I think you got to stick your shit here, and I'm interested. What's next in the process for you in terms of the march to get you out of there, and I guess the proceedings? What's next for you?
I'm on appeal, but how much can we trust the system? I'm getting a violation warning. I don't know why, because there's a black screen.
We just did too.
But y'all can't figure out how to do this. But anyway,
no, I can't see it. You can't record or anything.
I'm on appeal. I'm hoping that we win this appeal, but it's all up to lawyers, and lawyers seem to watch Netflix and carry their own agenda without conversing with me. So who knows? But I pray to God that y'all can get President Biden to wake up. He's the power to be it, whether you like the man or not. He is the man who can fix this right now.
Well, the Brohio Nation's going to try and wake him up, and we're going to try and wake him up. And I think there's this story's not done yet, and I think you got to. I'm interested in. I know you've talked recently about a lot of things, but I'm interested to know about the things you say once you get out. I know there's even more stuff that you're kind of holding back on, and there's a lot of things that maybe you still haven't elaborated on. So I'm looking forward to the day that you can get out and you can really fucking let your tongue loose, man.
Well, I mean, if you look at joeexotictv.net and you go through the 600 videos and recordings that my lawyer, John Phillips, has obtained, they're quite shocking. But it backs up my story about the rape and the sex trafficking that Jeff and James and Lauren were involved in at the zoo and in Vegas.
Wow, yeah.
But it's even more shocking that the federal government knew they were doing this, and they still let them lie and covered all this shit up. In order to pass a law so you can't own a tiger in America, I mean, come on. How crazy is that?
We're actually...
So I consider myself a political prisoner for the Big Cat Safety Act.
I firmly believe that as well, Joe. And actually, we're not far from the Zanesville Zoo, where all that shit went down and that guy kind of lost his fucking mind.
I went over there during that, okay, and I belly crawled my ass up to those cages. And I knew Terry Thompson, and to this day, and that might be why I'm partially in here, to this day, I have screamed that they murdered him, okay, in order to pass that law in Ohio. Because who got I have the copies of the contracts. Who got the contracts to move tigers from there to California and Florida? Carol Baskin's organization, the Global Federation Animal Sanctuary, for $250,000 a piece.
And there we go. That's a wrap.
We got terminated. I don't know why.
They fucking ended it.
I don't know why, man. It was
wow.
We were talking to Joe, and
that's a bummer.
We had 9 minutes left.
They shut us off.
It said we were going to.
Yeah, it gave us a warning up there. It said we were violating
some kind of policy.
Some kind of policy. I'm assuming with the jail that he's in right now with the video call. For some reason, our camera wasn't working. I don't know if that had anything to do with it or if we were talking about an open case.
It said on the screen that it knew that we were recording. So
no, we definitely weren't
recording. What?
We were recording the audio.
We recorded everything.
Yeah, we recorded the audio, not the video. We couldn't. Yeah.
No, we recorded everything.
We recorded the audio.
It doesn't fucking matter now.
No, yeah, that sucks.
It does. Whatever.
That sucks.
I mean, we got 21 out of 30 minutes.
Yeah.
I'm very happy I got to learn about the paramedic jacket.
Yeah.
That was a bunch of shit. Unfortunately,
man. That's a bummer.
Jail rules, man.
Yeah, I know. You know how it is. We both been there. Fuck.
He's
high profile people, man.
I know. I love the dude though.
I do too, man.
He's such a
one way or the other. You know what I mean? Like whether
he's a fucking was it enigma? Is that the word?
Oh, sure. Yeah.
He's such like a burning flame.
Man. Yeah.
He's
man.
And the most painful part about all that is he never got to see the Netflix stuff. He hasn't watched it. Not that he doesn't want to watch it.
Yeah.
But he
And here's the thing, like I think like with the whole Tiger King thing, sure, like at the very beginning, they painted him in a good light and they pulled the whole fucking switcheroo where, towards the end they start painting him as a bad guy. The whole time watching that though, I kind of had like the Walter White feel to him where like, you're kind of rooting for him. Yeah, I mean,
yeah, for sure.
He's overall in the story where he starts as a good guy. He ends up being the bad guy in the story, but at the same time, like, I still wanted to see him win. I
still want to see him win.
Absolutely, and I still do.
I want to be there in the trailer when he gets locked up for 2 days and has sex with.
I truly believe that any violence towards the animals that he had in captivity that happened was done really in the most ethical way that he possibly could have.
I mean, if you have
if you have an old,
huge,
sick tiger, a killing machine, essentially, you know what I mean?
It's sick, and you can't do anything with it. I don't know. I'm not.
But
I think at the end of the day, probably not great to have tigers, but he's not in jail for the tigers. He's in jail for allegedly plotting to kill
conspiracy to commit murders and whatever it is.
But that bitch deserved a lot. Maybe not to die.
You know what? I have the entire time through COVID till now, I have yet to hear a single person be on her side. You know what? And that says something.
Netflix did a really good job of painting her in a negative light.
Yeah. While still trying to make her out to seem to be the victim. But you know what? Hashtag free Joe Exotic, man.
Hashtag free Joe Exotic.
I stand by it. I fucking hear.
Maybe we should just do a phone call next time.
Maybe. They'd probably have rules against that too, though.
Fucking no, I think he can call.
Okay.
But he was, what a bummer.
An abrupt ending, but I think we got
the meat of it.
We got the meat and potatoes.
Got to see him. He's handsome. I want to tell him how good his hair fucking looked.
Dude, it looked really fucking good.
His hair's on fleek, man.
My youngest son has a mullet, and I was going to ask him if he had any any fucking guidance.
I love that, dude.
Any guidance to my son's mullet transformation.
He's such a cool dude, man.
Yeah, man.
All right, well, sorry it didn't go as long as we wanted it to, but we still talked to Joe Exotic like we anticipated.
Yep.
Worth the wait. So
it was great.
All right, guys. Well, we appreciate it.
Love you guys. Thank you.
See ya.
Bye.